Hey guys, so I'm here in Kota Kinabalu, which means the city of Kinabalu. Love that name, by the way. It just rolls off your tongue. I'm here in what most people would consider paradise. I was thinking about my uncle in Canada and in Toronto, and he was saying that, just the other day, how cold it is over there, and how difficult it is sometimes in the morning to get up and go to a shop where he sells Afghan, Middle Eastern, and Persian rugs, high-end rugs and all that other stuff in a very nice neighborhood. One of my favorite neighborhoods, Markham, nearby Greektown. And he was talking about how, because of the construction, given the MRT or the public transportation system extension, he's been having some difficulty in terms of getting sufficient foot traffic. And whenever there's construction and you're a physical business, you're going to suffer. And here I am, essentially in a sunny paradise. And the funny thing is, I'd rather be with him, just in a shop. And I think that's why, I don't know if you've seen this back here. Again, it really is paradise, right? There's a beach right there. I've got a really nice, room over here, but it's only for one night. And then I head back. I just wanted to see this place because I have to tell you, I don't think I could be here for a long time. There are so many people who think that this is the dream, to come here and to be on the beach and to do nothing. And I have to tell you, it's just, and I'm looking over at this ship over here behind me, it says LNG, natural gas, liquefied natural gas. And I'm already trying to think, about how all of this is powered, about how all of this is going to be sustainable. And I think in order to think those things, you have to be in the hubbub of business somewhere, which means you have to be in a city of at least, a few 100,000 people. And so these kinds of places have always sort of made me very suspicious in terms of the kinds of people that are able to stay in a place like this forever. And it starts to me to feel a bit like the song Hotel California. And, that's of course, sort of this dystopian view of a vacation. And I have to tell you, it's nice. It's nice to be here, but, despite all the traveling I've done, one thing you have to remember is getting here is not easy as well. A lot of these resorts, you have to take a ferry, a little banana boat, with a rubber banana boat that's shaped like a banana. And so over here, I was supposed to land here at 9 p.m. or 9:30 p.m. last night. The plane somehow ended up landing at about past 11. And so, one of my apps wouldn't work. Most places in these smaller towns, this is not a small city, but around 11:30 p.m., I was not able to get a ride-hailing service on one of my apps, the more popular app in Asia. So I had to use a lesser-known app, that I just happened by chance to upload money into last month, and that was the one that allowed me to get to my hotel. Otherwise, I would have been scrambling, in the airport trying to figure out what to do, or I would have been at the mercy of the taxis at the taxi stand. So, again, one thing you want to think about when you're on vacation or when you're looking at so-called travel influencers is, these are very nice places. And the thing is, I've been to places like these in Mexico, on the other side of the world, and they were also very nice places. But I don't think that this is the pinnacle of travel. I think you have to have some culture, you have to have some history, and places like these, for the most part, only have history to the extent that there's a beachhead established for protection. If there's a cannon, it was designed to keep away intruders. There are no cannons here. If they were, they were removed. A lot of times, the most vulnerable part of a country would be its coastline, not just because of unauthorized immigration or unauthorized people coming in that may be hostile to you. But just, of course, weapons supplies, if you want to supply weapons to dissident groups, you would do it in a place like this. So you have to remember that, a lot, and you also, of course, need to ship things out if you have any sort of economy. And so, of course, the way that's done these days is, under globalization is on the water. So you have to remember the reason these hotels are set up is in part as a security measure to make sure that there are people here that can patrol, right? You have an infrastructure, a tax base that then allows you to pay for a smaller navy, a navy extension, security, border patrol. I don't know if this would be considered a border, but essentially, you get my point, right? You're not necessarily dealing with paradise as so much as a post-World War II recognition that security on any sort of water line is paramount, especially if you're dealing with transportation of natural resources, which is now obviously the bulk of most international trade. Oil, natural gas, LNG, and then you've got below that, sort of almost as an add-on, an afterthought in a sense, given the amount of money that's involved with coffee and all the other things that make things work. But fundamentally, one of the reasons I don't necessarily like being in places like these, again, is because I really think that the people who are making it are people like my uncle in Markham, just trying to go to work every day, load in those heavy rugs in a shop, and Lashar rugs, and just try to get by and make an honest living. And I just have a hard time thinking that you can necessarily make an honest living in a place that is really designed to be a security outpost, no matter how beautiful it actually is.